he attempts at streaming via laptop. All right, is this even working? I can't even tell. It says we're live. Let's see. Hold up. All right, we got one person in here. There we go. There we go. All right, yeah, it's up right today. I'm doing a little bit of traveling. I tried to stream via computer. Epic fail. Epic fail. Remarkable fail. But we have a computer that I can still at least read some Reddit stories that I collected here. All right, we can at least do some Reddit reactions on this little live stream while I'm on the road. A vertical stream from the Dadvocate. There were a couple videos that I wanted to react to with you, but we'll have to save them for when I'm home. But this is exciting. It means that I have enough content that I wanted to share with you guys to where we might end up doing a second stream this week, maybe this weekend when I'm back. That might be nice. Also, and I was mentioning this earlier on the shit stream, but if I sound a little punky, it's because I'm getting over a little summer bug, but hopefully you can deal with me on that. Hold on, let me find like a shoe I can put my phone in while we read some Reddit stories together. I gotta find some kind of a setup here. Can I sing? I can. Do you want to hear it? Is a better question. I'm not sure. I will say this. I actually just did karaoke for the first time in my life this year. And it was literally only because my daughter wanted to sing Try Everything by Shakira at the karaoke place. But as soon as it started, she like froze. And even though I hate singing in public or even trying to sing in front of other people at all by myself, y'all know I jumped in there and started busting out some Shakira on that karaoke machine to save my daughter from certain peril. Does it sound like a cat getting caught in the motor of a car? That's pretty similar. Like, you know those like big wind turbines in an airplane? It just probably sounds like a gaggle of geese going through one of those, I would imagine. Dylan says, you will not catch me doing karaoke. You won't even catch me singing with people in the car. I will sing with people in the car. And by people, I mean like my daughter and her friends. That's what this was, by the way. Yeah, this trip that we're on, it got out of hand real quick. I was gonna let my kids each invite one friend, and then I decided to just be super mom and let them each invite 2 friends. And so my husband drove the boys and I drove the girls. And let me tell you, y'all would be rolling over, especially all y'all anti-Swifties, that the entire car ride, just Taylor Swift. I had no control. There was nothing I could do about it. Okay. I have some Reddit stories, some Reddit things that I wanted to go over with you guys today to do a little bit of live reacting to. Oh, snap. What are we speaking here? Russian? Ukrainian? I never learned to read Ukrainian, so don't judge me if I can't read it. I am so sorry. Should have TJ let take 2 friends so I could get a vacay. Dude, he would break you too, Dylan. He really would. I like to think I count as one of TJ's friends, but I'm sure that there's someone he could invite that would get a little rowdier than me, maybe. Lauren, take over by the swiftness. Okay. This is the one that I'm going to start with, our Reddit story that we're going to start with today. This one is on best of Redditor updates. So what's nice about this is that a lot of times we get a Reddit story where we don't really get a conclusion. We get maybe like the first part, and then we just kind of have to like use our imaginations to imagine what might have happened after that. So what I really love about the subreddit Best of Redditor updates is that these people really go and like stalk these situations for as long as they can to deliver to the best of their ability the conclusions to these. So this one started with a post called "My wife is addicted to the gym and it's ruining our marriage." So naturally, I was very curious about this. You hear this a lot, but usually from women, right? Typically, when you have a partner or a spouse in the relationship who has a bit of a gym addiction, it tends to be the man, doesn't it? I don't know. Shout out in the comments if you, as a man, have ever had an issue with like your spouse cannot get them out of the gym, like they are spending way too much time there. Or if you're a lady in the audience, did you have this issue? I've heard of it. I feel like it's such a common one, especially when the couple first has a baby. Because look, I'm a dumb jock. I'm just gonna say that straight up with you guys. I am a total gym bro jock. I like just this morning I was hitting the gym here at the hotel. Like we stay getting after it. I love getting in the gym. And when I had my kid, I didn't intend for that to change. I still intended on staying fit, getting after it, making time for improving myself. And so that was just something that we were gonna have to work out. And we did. But I've heard it a lot of complaints from friends of like, you know, he wants to go to the gym right after work, but that's like prime cooking, homework, all this other time. Or, you know, he wants to leave for the gym early in the morning, and like that's prime getting the kids ready for school time. And so a lot of couples, they struggle with getting a decent schedule, figuring out the right time. Like for the longest time, I was one of those moms waking up at like 4 in the morning just to get my workout in before anyone else is even awake, so that I'm not interrupting the flow of the day. I know a lot of other guys do that as well. Gym is not really important. False. False. Big false. Okay. I just told y'all I'm a dumb jock, so I don't know why you would come in my chat spitting such blasphemy. But gym is life. Like I'm like half joking, but truly, everyone is going to feel 10,000% better in almost every area of their life if they get into a regular fitness routine. Even if it's just a 30-minute, even if it's just a 10-minute walk every day. Honestly, just taking a walk around the block, but you have to do some kind of a regular activity. You have to, or you're going to be fucking depressed. It's just the way of the world. The gym is very important. Even if you're not like leaving for the gym. Honestly, most of my workouts are at home. Like I just do at home stuff, but you still have to do it. You have to. Sorry. Oh God, mods. Probably. I'm like, what's going on down here? Is everything fine? But you get it. My wife is addicted to the gym and it's ruining our marriage. So let's find out how bad their situation is. Is it really addicted? What's happening? So the first post was February 1st of 2024. It reads, "My wife is 30 years old and she's always worked out and been in shape, but lately I feel like it's becoming excessive. She used to regularly work out at a gym when she was in college. At some point, she stopped going to the gym, I think lately just due to her schedule, and preferred to work out at home or go for runs outside." Sounds similar. "About 18 months ago, she announced she was going to get back into the habit of going to the gym. She now had a job where she's able to make more time for it. It started off normal, but slowly became more and more frequent. She signed up for classes on the weekend, both days. She started going to the gym every day. Then it became the morning before work, and then again later in the evening. Every single day." Okay. I'm generally a fan of daily gym. I try to get in a good 30 minutes, like I said, at my home gym. Probably every day, I would say, personally. But again, leaving the house, actually like going out of the house, making yourself completely unavailable for the domestic care of the house, that's when you have to start really communicating with everybody in the family to make sure, like, hey, you good to cover me while I'm gone? Does this work out? Like, when can I get your back later? So it's not just me always leaving, right? We got to have these conversations. Whenever she's stressed, she goes to the gym, experiences some kind of crisis, immediately heads to the gym. We have an argument, goes to the gym. So far, it's like, this isn't like super dangerous yet. I personally, if I'm upset about something, yeah, working out is like my go-to, and it can be healthy. She's 4 months pregnant right now. I'm kind of surprised we even had time to make a kid. I understand that it's safe for her to work out, especially since she was already in the habit of doing it before she got pregnant, but the intensity is not slowing down. Okay, I see why he's getting concerned. I would think probably most guys would be like, babe, we sure we want to do all of this? Hold on, let me get my brightness up a little bit. Of course, she gets upset when I voice that I feel it's becoming an unhealthy obsession and that I miss spending time with her because there's so much. She has all of these friends and this whole circle of people there that she seems to prefer spending time with over me. Why don't we work out together at the gym? The gym is her time, she says. This isn't a case of me feeling insecure because she's in great physical shape and I'm a fat slob. I also work out and am in shape. My job actually requires me to stay in shape, so I can't let myself go even if I wanted to. Okay, how do we feel about, can we work out together? No, that's my thing. I've said before, every couple does need something outside of each other that gives them confidence. That's very important in a relationship, absolutely. And like my husband definitely doesn't care about working out and like doing gym stuff and sports as much as me. But if he ever was like, you know what, I do want to come to jujitsu with you tonight, I do want to roll, I would be so fucking stoked. I would be so happy. What are you talking about? Like, no, that's me time. Not even once. Now we're starting to enter the sus pool. We are starting to wade in to sussy territory. I genuinely feel her gym habits are unhealthy. She's over-exercising, for one. There is such a thing. Yeah, there are people who get addicted. They spend like hours a day in the gym. You really don't need to. Like all of the times that I've been at the best shape of my life, I really was not working out for more than like 45 minutes a day. And anything over an hour, like you better be training for the fucking UFC, bro. Like why are you doing all that? Why are you doing the most right now? I like waiting in the sussy territory. That's yeah, this sus is getting busted wide open. Sorry, okay. Going on. But worse than that, I feel it's becoming a way for her to escape everything else in her life. Escapism is bad. People think that like playing video games is the only way to use escapism in your life. But working out can be escapism too. She never actually fixed anything that goes wrong in her life. She just runs off to the gym to get some sort of mood boost, and then that's it. She also never gets anything else done in a practical sense because how can she when she's at the gym so often? It's to the point where I have to do every chore, and if food is getting made, I'm going to have to do it. I don't expect her to do all of those things, but it should at least be a shared effort. Yeah, yeah. Big agree. No one would argue with a woman if her man was the one at the gym all the time and she was the one filling out all these chores, you know? I love you too, Amari. Please tell me that this doesn't sound normal to you. People we know have even commented about it to me. Uh-oh. They've said things about how she seems different, how she sure is at the gym a lot, and how many of her friends and family barely see her anymore. Some have even suggested that she's having an affair with somebody there. She insists this is perfectly normal. So before we move on to the next update, what do y'all think? 4 months pregnant, working out twice a day, 7 days a week at the gym, once in the morning, once at night. I don't think it says how long she is there. Honestly, again, this is just the Jack in me. If you're 4 months pregnant and you do 2 20 to 30-minute workouts, especially if it's like maybe gentle Pilates, I don't think that's bad. I think that's just someone who still is like trying to be very mindful of staying in shape regardless of where they're at in their journey, or maybe even more so. I'll have you guys know, I was doing full upside down yoga inversions when I was 10 weeks away from my due date, right? I have pictures of myself with a big old belly, just fully upside down working out. I was still lifting, I was still running. So I'm not like super horrified by the fact that a pregnant woman is working out throughout her pregnancy, way healthier than people realize. But it's the fact that he has tried to vocalize, can I spend more time with you? And she doesn't seem to be doing anything to show that she cares about that concern. That's the part that seems to bother me. What do you guys think? Do you support Ukraine? Of course I do. I'm Ukrainian. Not in everything. I think that the motherland can be a bit homophobic, for example, but yeah, I hope that Ukraine gets to remain a country and that our language doesn't die. Slava. But anyway. Sorry, I still can't read Ukrainian. I'm not the best. We stopped speaking it when my dedush died. Who I'm gonna go visit his gravestone. So if anybody wants me to say anything to the OG Yuki who escaped the Nazi prisons and got us to the US, let me know. I'll tell him at his gravesite. Okay. So it seems like everybody else is kind of like with me in that it's not so much the working out that seems to be the problem. It's the complete lack of giving a shit about the husband wanting to spend time with his wife who's growing his baby. Free Palestine, by the way. I don't mind saying that. I don't usually get political on my streams, but if you want to unfollow me for saying Free Palestine, okay. All right, here's the update. This was posted just a few days after the first one. He says, I posted not very long ago about my wife's addiction to the gym, a compulsion, if you will. She spends most of her free time there. She often goes twice a day and sometimes even 3 times if we have a fight at night and she needs to run off instead of actually talking to me. Oh, God. I know we just read the full version of this synopsis, but somehow him putting it that way, because I don't think he mentioned that sometimes it's 3 times if they have a fight at night. And like, why are you having so many fights at night? Probably because that's the only time that he gets to see her. But this is where it's getting doubly sussy for me, because one very common behavior of people who are having an affair or cheating is what they'll oftentimes do, and I hate to say this, but this happens more often with women. I personally feel that men and women behave very differently while they're cheating. I think that men can oftentimes get more affectionate to the person they're cheating on while cheating, but women will often get more aggressive toward the person that they're cheating on. And it's a projection of guilt because they know that what they're doing is wrong. And so what they try to do is pick at things that the person that they're wronging so that they can almost justify it. Like, well, you know what? He criticized the way that I did this today. So you know what? That's why I have to talk to someone else. That's why I have to get my emotional security elsewhere, right? Whereas I feel like when men are cheating, they too know that what they're doing is wrong. And so they almost try to like make up for it through extra kindness toward the partner. Do you think I'm like right or wrong in that assessment? I'm just curious. That's just been my personal observation, having seen many a man and women cheat on their partner throughout life, and those seem to be the behaviors. So, hey yo, let me just. Sorry, Phillies Goozle or whatever. I don't know why you're spamming Nazi in my chat, but I had to let you go. Can confirm, was cheated on for a large chunk of my marriage, and she did get aggressive with me at times, like just straight up mean. Yeah, it's funny. Like it's almost like a meme at this point. Like men will joke with each other like, "Oh, she's starting to call you out more for like random stuff that you're doing and picking fights. There's someone else." And women will joke with each other like, "Oh, he's randomly showing up to your work with flowers. He's definitely cheating on you." Like it's a joke at this point. Okay. So anyway, this is sussy. She's getting aggro. She won't let me go to her gym and she refuses to go to mine. Her gym is her place, my gym is my place, and that's just the way it has to be according to her. I'd love to have her come along with me. I've invited her multiple times. She's about 18 weeks pregnant right now. This is our first baby. She worked out like crazy prior to the pregnancy and she continues to just as hard now. 1 in chat if you think the baby's his, 2 in chat if you don't think the baby's even his. I'm embarrassed to admit that after reading a lot of the comments on my last post, I thought maybe I was being overly confident about her fidelity. She usually always has her phone on her, but she left it on the kitchen counter, and as stupid as I felt, I decided to do a quick swipe through of her text. All right, let's go. What did we learn? She had a current text conversation going on with a guy. I recognized the name. The same name of a guy from the gym she mentions a lot. She's friends with a lot of people there. Went to one of their weddings last fall. Wait, just her though? That's weird. All it says is she's friends with a lot of people there, comma, went to one of their weddings last fall. Is she also going to entire weddings without him? Because that's weird. That's weird. Don't you think that's weird to go to a wedding without your spouse? Like, it's got to be a very specific thing. Like a major work event, like conflicting stuff that it's like really sucks that you have to choose between these two awesome things. But like, there is no way that you're going to an entire wedding with your homies and you're just like, oh, but they're my gym friends, so you don't need to go. What? I wasn't too terribly concerned until I started reading the texts. Never wanted to know what the guy's dick looked like, but I know now. Oh! And that's that on that. All right, so she definitely cheated, 1000%. That's not cheating, guys. Look, denial is one hell of a drug. Don't I know it? I could suck down some denial all day before I'll take a hard truth. Lord knows we all fall victim to it, okay? But these are the facts, gentlemen. If there is another man's dick on your girl's phone, that's cheating. There doesn't end up there by accident. Like literally, unless the dick picture is followed by like a barrage of like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you ever fucking do that? That's definitely cheating. Oh God. All right, so how are we gonna work through this one, boys? There's a dick on the phone. There's a dick on the phone. She's cheating. Is the baby his? The chances just went way down. The chances just, the chances of that baby being his just shut down like a Windows 98 computer. Like the paternal rate just went doo-doo-doo-doo. Done. God. She was only out of the room for literally about a minute or two. Damn! So I had to scroll fast. He was getting boss moves in. That's like, I can feel the anxiety. The secondhand like BPM is like going on in my chest at this moment. Everyone's still a 2. I was furious. I asked her what the fuck that conversation was about. His dick, obviously. Why do you need to ask? I'm kidding. I would have asked questions too. She started yelling at me for looking at her phone. Of course we did, because like we said, we're going to project the fault. Well, who cares how that dick got there? That was for me to look at, not for you. That's my friend's dick, not yours. We laugh so we don't cry. I told her she's acting so weird and the gym obsession was really bothering me, so I decided to look and was ashamed that I did, but that I thought I'd find nothing at all. She said, It's nothing. It's nothing. Didn't look like nothing to me. She sure seemed pretty interested in this nothing. Truly, there's really no excuse for that. Like, even if he's like, actually, hold on real quick. I do have one really funny story for, I did get one dick pic sent to me in the time that I started dating my husband, but first of all, I didn't even really get to see it. I was like at work at the time. This was like way back in the day when I worked as a waitress. And I get a text and I kind of like open it up and I was like, oh, my buddy sent me a picture of like a baby bunny or something. I thought it was like a picture of a baby bunny in a hole. But then later I get my text and it's like a barrage of texts and he's like, please delete that. Please delete the message I just sent you. I just tried to send my girlfriend a picture of a rash on my dick. She's a nurse. I just wanted to know what it might be. Please don't open it. It is a picture of my dick covered in a rash. It's like a completely flaccid picture. So like, and I just deleted the whole conversation. I never ended up like going back and seeing what the baby bunny looked like. But that is like the only reasonable excuse that I could possibly think of. Clearly wasn't the situation. Like, my brightness was down. If he's watching this by any chance, I'm really not trying to clown on your dick. I swear I didn't see it. I thought it was just a bunny in a bush. Anyway, that's not what happened here. Okay, so here she is saying it's nothing, it's nothing. I left the house because I was so furious. I wanted to know if she's been fucking him. For how long? She kept saying no. Before I left, I slammed her phone on the ground and shattered it. She was calling me all sorts of names for breaking her phone. She hit me on the back as hard as she could. I left. Went to my brother's house. Oh, thank God. Thank God we got a brother's house to go to. Man, you know how like women will sometimes have like a backup fund of money? Like obviously probably everyone should have something like that, but man, at least make sure you got a brother's house to go to in a time of crisis. It doesn't have to be a biological brother, mind you. You know what I'm saying though, right? Like you need a brother's house for a situation like this. My brother and sister-in-law were shocked, although my sister-in-law was one of the most vocal ones about my wife's gym obsession being weird and bringing it up to me constantly. Damn, listen to that sister-in-law intuition, okay? These women they marry in, they truly do become your sisters, dude. I can't tell you how many times I've like told my brother-in-law, like, watch out for that one. And finally he married the perfect woman who's making me an aunt this July. So you got to listen to us, okay? We know what's up. All right. So we get to the brother's house. Where we left off was he breaks her phone and she like punches him in the back as hard as she possibly can. All right. So obviously at this point in the story, it was wrong of him to destroy her property, of course. However, I think we can all agree that hitting someone is actually DV, but breaking their phone, breaking your partner's phone, it is under the umbrella of DV. It's under there, but it's way lower than actually hitting the person. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if a man punches a hole in the wall, that's not okay for you to scare your partner, to cause destruction of property. But if they respond by punching you in the face, what they've done is worse. Arguments? I don't know who keeps letting, like, people who want to talk about Nazis in my chat, but like, no, I just told you that my grandpa escaped the Hitler army. They tried to kill him in Soviet Russia. Like, why would I like Nazis? Get out of here, dude. So annoying. Yeah, I did. I just did. Sorry. I should get more mods in here, but I didn't even know for sure if I could go live today, so it was kind of last minute. But anyway, so back to it. What do you guys agree though? Do we all agree that like actually hitting each other is 10 times worse than breaking stuff? We don't break stuff, but oh man, yeah, I would love to talk about having healthy arguments. I'll go over that after we finish the story because I do have some good rules for making arguments better. All right. We'll continue on with this story. I went home. She was in bed crying. She obviously couldn't call me or anyone else for that matter. She was laying it on thick. I don't know if you'd ever come home. Give me a break. I took her phone to get repaired tonight, though. She doesn't deserve it, but I still feel like an ass for breaking her phone. You know what, though? Good on him, because this way he's kind of like neutralizing his assholery in the situation, and now she's the only asshole. For a second, she really let him get out of his own character. I would consider what he did reactive abuse. Like, obviously not an okay thing to do, but he would not have done it under any normal circumstances. But he just found out that he was getting cheated on and that this baby growing might not even be his. So we're gonna allow him to break the phone, especially because he went and fixed it immediately. I'm not saying that that's like what every guy should do, but I think that that was the right thing to do on his part. I think that was a good man. Dude, for real, box. Anyway, I still don't know how deep this goes. She won't admit to anything beyond what I saw. Ugh! Doesn't that piss you off the most? I think that's the part that aggravates me is when you have to do all the work in finding out how these people lied to you, and then they want to act like they're the ones who came clean. Like, well, you know now though, and it's like, but I don't. But I actually don't, because I only know what I was able to find out. No thanks to you. You don't get to get any credit for me finding out that you lied to me, dude. Come on. That's what's so annoying. And that's also why I respect people more who, unless they're only doing it because they were threatened, i.e. a friend says either you tell your spouse or I will, and that's the only reason they come out with it. But like, that's why I respect people more who are like, I have to get this off my chest. Like, I personally cannot live with them not knowing it. Those people, I think, deserve a little bit more forgiveness than people who the only reason you ever find out is because you did the work, not because they came out with anything. She won't admit to anything beyond what I saw. Was it sexting, bad enough, or more? This is the thing too. The first thing people do, I've been guilty of it. You've probably been guilty of it. When they find something out like this, is they immediately like just jump to that self-soothing denial. Like, you straight up saw a dick on your wife's phone, my guy, and he's still going, maybe nothing's happening. Maybe it was just like a dare. Maybe it is okay. And it's like, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm telling you so you can't say no one's ever said this. You find a dick on your wife's phone, she's full on effing the dude, okay? Even if she's not, assume, rightfully assume. Because if anybody tries to gaslight you and tell you that you're wrong for assuming your wife is porking the dude whose dick is on her phone, fuck them. Don't let these people gaslight you, dude. There's a dick on your wife's phone. She's sucking that dick, man. She is doing it. I'm sorry, I'm getting real hype about this story right now. Let's just say in another universe that she didn't cheat. Why did she not cut contact with the other guy when he sent the dick pic? That's what I'm saying. She's not being reasonable at all. At all. Again, like when I had the baby bunny dick story, I told my husband about it right away. I thought it was hilarious, you know, like, and there was enough trust, you know, but like, I can't imagine if my husband ever has a concern about something, I immediately am like, oh, I jump to, I'm going to make you feel as comfortable about this as I possibly can. Like, what can I do to work through this with you to make you feel more comfortable? Because I care. to me, it's just a confirmation of guilt that there's no effort whatsoever to even try to make him feel a little bit better about this, especially when there's a full-on dick. You have to do something about the dick. You got to make that right somehow, man. Good God. So now that the phone is fixed, he says, she still refuses to hand over her phone and is now trying to act like I'm this terrible monster who is abusing her because I broke her phone. Not my proudest moment, but I honestly wanted to body slam her after she punched me. I have never and would never actually touch her like that, though. Oh, God. So this is where it gets dangerous. This is where it gets really dangerous, because even though she has put him in this position, and this is why I say all the time, you don't have to lay hands on someone to hurt them in the worst possible ways that they have ever been hurt. And this shows it. Like, she's married to this man, full on married to him. He's expecting that they're having their first child together. And he's now finding out not only has he been getting cheated on for God knows how long, but that this kid might not even be his. Punch me in the face. I would rather you punch me in the face. As a person who has literally had an ex knife her in the back and has a very massive scar from it, would rather have that than be in a position where I do not know if my child is my child or not. Gladly would take another fillet knife to the back, quite frankly. Okay, it's an awful feeling. And now, because he didn't react to being cheated on and his paternity stripped out from under him, like the carpet being ripped out from under his legs, because he didn't react appropriately enough, now he's facing abuse accusations. Now he might be the one whose life gets even more ruined. It's not because she can't just admit now that she had an affair, because that's going to hurt her ego, so she's going to destroy him instead. Okay. This is why it bothers me when people go, well, obviously men are dangerous because they're more innately violent. Hey, I'm not going to disagree with you. Men are more violent. Absolutely they are. If anybody wants to disagree with that, like, you do need a reality check. Men are more violent. But is that the worst thing you can do to someone? Is it? I don't know. Let's get on to the next update, shall we? Not sure if posting something in my profile will be seen by anyone, but I don't feel like making another update in subreddit. Today, my wife asked me to stay home from work so we could talk. She laid in bed all day yesterday trying to get me to feel sorry for her, but I paid absolutely no attention to her and ended up leaving the house to go to my family's Super Bowl party. Let's go. City boys, stay up. Dude, yes. Follow this man's lead, boys. Okay, so far, this is a very good example of like how to behave, because they will try to do this to you. They will fucking hurt you, and then they will try to make you feel bad for them. Don't do it. Don't do it, no matter how cute they are. That is what we do, is we are so fucking cute that that we really think we'll get away with it. Don't do it. Go like this, just, I don't see you. And sometimes the crying is so sad. Dude, even I fall for it. I'm such a sucker for a pretty girl crying, okay? Trust me, I get it. But you gotta, don't give in, don't cave. So he leaves for the family's Super Bowl party. I know that had to be a narcissistic injury for sure. You know, she was a fucking crab apple all day. He's out having fun, not being sad that she's sad. Ooh, illegal. I wasn't in the mood to go, but I wasn't gonna just sit at home with her. It really bothered her that I left. Oh, I know it did. She kept texting me things like, who just leaves like that? Oh, look who suddenly is so upset that someone is leaving the house to go do something. Look who's suddenly so bothered by that. When something like this is happening, who is that cold and callous that they just leave to go to a party? When something like this is happening, when someone gets cheated on by their wife, who just avoids their wife like that? Who does that? You should be comforting her. She's probably really upset she cheated on you. I did stay home today to talk to her. She was full of tears. She's so sorry. According to her, she really was going to the gym twice a day because she likes going there. That's where her friends are. It makes her feel good. It's fun for her. She met this guy there and he started flirting with her. Everyone likes him. He's one of the most popular guys there. I didn't realize there were popular people at gyms. Dude, that would be so my attitude too. Could you believe, like, imagine being this guy and like, not only did you just find out all this shit about your wife, obviously, but as she's trying to explain herself, she's trying to get you to see her side by going, but baby, he was so popular. Like, everyone likes him. Like, don't you get it? He's so cool. Like, how could I not put him fully inside me, babe? Like, oh my God. That would just make it 10 times worse for me. Like, what? And it's so crazy to me because obviously, if this was her having to listen to him go, yeah, okay, yes, I was hooking up with this girl and we were exchanging lewds and stuff, and like, she might be pregnant, but like, babe, like, you see how hot she is. Like, all my friends want her. Like, don't you look at her. He's gym daddy. I had to. Sorry, someone did this. Freedom Fiend says, I disagree with that. Men and women are equally violent in my experience. The difference is that men tend to be physically violent while women tend to be socially and emotionally violent. Looks like that's got a couple hearts. I'm gonna go ahead and heart react that too. That's a really good assessment. And I agree with that because, like I said, I don't think that physical violence is the worst thing that you can do to someone. And I do think that when we consider emotional and sociological, socio-political violence, I think that women are just as dangerous. Absolutely. So anyway, her affair is fine because he's hot and people like him. So we're good now. Oh, wait, no, the story keeps going and it doesn't end that way. I lied. She admitted that she flirted back, but that she didn't mean anything by it. Oh, so like when she told him, yes, I do want to ride you like a mechanical bull, it was just like a nothing burger. Like, it's not her fault that he took that, rolled with it, and then started a full-on affair. Like, it's, you know how that stuff just kind of happens. She didn't reciprocate very much at first, but he gave her butterflies and she just found herself flirting back without thinking. Oh, not the butterflies. There's like a word for this that I keep hearing people using. I forgot what it is though, but it's a word for like basically you getting a crush on someone while in a relationship, and people are trying to use this word to be like, oh, it's just this phenomenon, it's a normal thing, and like it's just something that you get over. And it's like, just because you like gave it a cute new brand name doesn't mean that it's not an emotional affair that you need to nip the fuck in the bud if you give a single solitary shit about your partner. Oh no, I'm sorry, but like, here's another thing, maybe a hot take, I don't know, tell me what you guys think. If you are in a relationship, you're committed to someone, right? And you know that you wouldn't want them cheating on you. If you feel any sense of a butterfly for someone, you cut contact. You go no contact immediately. You stop talking to them. You stop looking at them. Maybe even say something like, sorry, I don't want to talk to you. Be mean if you have to, honestly. But what you're not going to do is entertain that. You don't entertain butterflies outside of your relationship, because then you're just asking for trouble. And a lot of people, they'll do that and they'll be like, well, I've got it under control. It's just harmless flirting. You don't have shit under control, you loser. You fully fucking lost control. You do not have control. Leon says, hey, I love watching your vids and receiving tips from your expertise. Hope I get to meet the right one. I'm assuming meet the right one day, I'm assuming. But yeah, me too, man. Me too. Just keep being a good person. Sorry, there's a cups guy. Let me check real quick. Oh, yeah. Let's just go ahead and boop. Thanks for, I'm self-modding today. Man, we're getting all kinds of trolls today. We got the 24-year-old virgin. Someone, like, go bone Muhammad so he leaves me alone. Anyway, she said it felt like when she had a crush on somebody when she was in school when she was younger. Very common. You hear this all the time. They started texting. At first it was just friendly and nothing sexual for several months. Lie. But she'd feel giddy every time she got a message from him. She was really attracted to him, but told him that she was married and there could never actually be anything between them. Honestly, if it's like getting that deep where you like have a real crush and you like really, really like someone, like maybe just keep those details to yourself. You know, I don't know if we need to hear all that. She described it like falling in love with somebody for the first time. All she could think about was him. Is she in love with him? She doesn't know. Is this baby mine? She thinks so, but there's always a small chance it could be his. He always uses a condom, so she doesn't think it's his baby, but they were sleeping together at the time she got pregnant. For the streets! Release her to the streets. That's the end of that. I'm sorry, but like, let me read the super chat real quick and then I'll continue my thought. Cameron says 99.9% agree, shutting down butterflies. 0.1% disagree on being mean. Personally don't condone being mean regardless. I said be mean only if you have to. Like, if you are just like incapable of any other way of shutting it down, if you have to do it to save the relationship, but yeah, avoid it if you can. But where I was at is I honestly do think that relationships where an affair occurs can be salvaged approximately 7 to 10% of the time. And of that 7 to 10%, the only reason those ones can be salvaged is because it included complete honesty, transparency, commitment, daily work, like open phone policy, locations turned on. I'm talking these people did the work. The reason that I do not believe that this situation in particular is even remotely salvageable is because she was not forthright and honest. All of the facts that he knows, he had to like do super spy activity. He had to go fucking Ocean's 11 to figure this shit out, first of all. Then it was weeks and weeks of denial. Then we had physical abuse as she hit him, which so far there's been a lot of yap about what an absolute giga chad this dork is, but absolutely not even the slightest, I'm sorry that I Super Saiyan decked you in your lumbar area, babe. Nothing like that. So far, it's just been, well, I couldn't help it because I just love him, which is just like, you're just punching me more. Like, you should just beat the crap out of me at this point instead of talking anymore, and it would hurt a lot less. You know, like, oh my God. This is not salvageable. It is not, especially with the whole baby situation. Now, here's the worst part is emotionally not salvageable, but what if the baby is his? Now you're stuck co-parenting, and like who knows how it's going to go by now, because we already have seen a pattern of behavior where she lashes out, gets aggressive, blames him, is willing to paint him as an abuser even. And the only reason that we're getting any cooperation out of her right now at this point in time is because she's still trying to manipulate him emotionally. She's still trying to get all of the benefits from him because she knows Giga Chad from the gym isn't trying to raise a baby. Come on. You think that this dude from the gym is gonna drop everything and raise this child with her? You think so? I don't know, guys. One in the chat if you think that he's trying to raise this baby with her, if he would step up as the daddy. 2 in the chat if you think he's like, that's your husband's kid. I'm just the AP. Co-parenting with an immature narcissist is living in hell. Well, I would be able to agree with you if our co-parent did any fucking co-parenting whatsoever. Probably too. Well, let's find out, because as I said, this is Best of Redditor updates, so we will get down to the end of this story. By the way, guys, not to be like that YouTuber, but let's get these likes up, okay? There's almost 500,000 of you here. 500,000, what a silly way of saying 500. And we don't even have 100 likes yet. So everybody go ahead and smash the like button real quick. And if you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. I might have to do more vertical lives in the future. This is pretty fun. But all right, let's keep going. She says she loves me. She can't help that there's just this huge spark between the two of them. She doesn't know if she loves him. She doesn't know if the baby is mine. She doesn't know why she did this. She doesn't know what she thinks we should do. That's really helpful. You gotta love it when someone completely cheats on you and then just leaves it up to you to figure out how to fix it. Isn't that just so nice of them to just give you all of the autonomy over the situation like that? You know, I've taken care of enough getting an entire mystery baby put inside of me. How about you take care of some things and tell me what we're gonna do from here? You get to pick. Aren't I so nice? And also, if she really is saying that she loves her husband, I don't want to see what it looks like when she hates someone. If that's love, cheating on them, leading them to believe a baby is theirs when it might not be, putting them in a position to raise a child who could become someone else's entirely, laying hands on them after being called out for the affair. I don't want to see what it looks like when she doesn't like someone. I started watching this ironically. Why am I invested? Why am I still here? Why am I giving $5 to the Dadvocate? I can't tell you, Jakeify, but I'm so glad that you're addicted. Cameron, I love this one. He says, sounds like an easy fix. It involves a door. If only it was that easy, man. If we could all just find it in our hearts to be like, you're bad for me. Please leave. And yet, we're all so fucking bad at that, aren't we? The nail in the coffin is when she said, you wouldn't really leave me if it's not your baby, would you? You wouldn't really do that, would you? You can't even fathom why a man would not want to raise a baby that's not his with a woman who's obviously not his either. You don't, what, you're shocked by that? Oh my God, the delusion of narcissists never fails to amaze me. They're always like, well, yeah, I hurt you and manipulated you and lied to you, but you're not seriously mad at me, are you? I told her, of course. I couldn't believe she had the balls to ask me that. I'm leaving her and I would never raise another man's child. She seemed shocked. She said, really? With everything we have and all our history, you wouldn't even consider it? Really? With everything we have and all of our history, you wouldn't even consider not letting another man eject himself inside of you? You see how this goes both ways, ma'am? You see how this can go in just a whole roundabout here? Oh, God. She agreed to get a DNA test. She tearfully agreed, like I'm supposed to feel sorry for her about it. I don't know who this woman is. She was crying the whole time, but not tears of an ashamed or sorry person. They were tears for herself and meant to try to make me feel bad. Feel bad for what? That her heart is apparently so torn? Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for her. It's a really tough spot to be in, you know, when you just can't choose between two different guys. Ugh, I call it the Bella Swan dilemma. Such a Twilight dilemma, you know, like are you team Edward or team Jacob? Like so hard. So hard to choose. Now, a lot has happened in 1 month because remember we started this journey at the beginning of February of this year. We now have another update as of late February, and the title is My Wife is Moving In with Her Affair Partner. They're in love. My life has been reduced to a trashy daytime talk show. The woman who was once my wife, who I considered a classy woman, has turned into complete trailer trash. Broth54C says, the moment you cheat, your history is worthless. Like I said, I would say 92% of the time, at least. So, some of these can be salvaged, not just one. The Wizard Library, thank you so much for the dono. Thank you. Today she announced that she's moving in with her affair partner from the gym. She's pregnant, might be his kid, might be mine. She's too embarrassed to go get blood drawn for a paternity test. Oh my God, I hate this so much. The anxiety is killing me. It's not even happening to me. So the last update, she said, okay, I'll get a DNA test tearfully. Tearfully, she said she'd do it. Now she's refusing. Guys, to give you an idea, you can do paternity tests as early as 7 weeks, and it's really not that dangerous. It's just a blood draw for the mom and a cheek swab for the dad, both of the dads, I guess, in this case, or both of the gentlemen. One of them may or may not be the dad. And now she's refusing to do it. This is something that guys have to deal with all the fucking time. Like, I can't tell you how many stories I've read just like this, where a guy is like, my girlfriend is pregnant, but I don't know if it's mine, but she won't get a paternity test. And all you can do is wait at least 9 months, which, as you know, is not just some short amount of time if you're out here like fucking dying, needing to know this information. And even then, since there's no mandatory paternity tests at birth, which quite frankly there should be, what you might have to do then is formally request a paternity test through the courts, which lawyers have ways of delaying and stuff if you want. So it could be another couple months, maybe even a few months before that paternity test is mandated by a judge. It could be up to a full year of this man waiting around with a pit in his stomach, having no fucking idea if he's a dad or not. Okay, we talk a lot about male privilege. This isn't one of them. This is not a fucking male privilege. At any given time, I as a woman know if I have a child or not in this world. Do I not? Okay, so you guys, there are a lot of people who get pissed if I even so much as use the word female privilege, but this is one of them. This is inarguably a female privilege, okay? That I don't ever in my life have to worry about having to sit around for a year waiting to find out if I'm a parent or not. That's mortifying. Good God. Sorry, I saw someone say any mods. I'll watch the chat a little bit more. Also, please email lauren@dadvocate.net if you want to be a mod. Mod for the next one. We do Thursdays at 11 a.m. if y'all want to help me out. All right, so she won't get the paternity test. She spent about a week trying to get my attention, to get me to talk to her, to get me to beg her to be mine. That's what they always want you to chase. That's what they do. They do some heinous shit, and then when you don't fight for the relationship, you're the bad guy. What the fuck? Zachary says, I have an ex who got rush married in a week, and now that her husband is considering divorce 2 months in, she's trying to flirt with me but be loyal to her husband. I doubt he knows. I cut that off. Zachary, I will give you your $10 back and then some if you tell the husband and send us all the screenshots. How much do we have to give Zachary to tell this woman's husband? Snitch, Zach. Snitch, snitch, snitch. I'm just kidding. What do you got? One in the chat if y'all think Zach should snitch. Two if y'all think he should just leave it alone. Oh, hold on. One of the girls' iPads is going off. I gotta. Good night. Okay. You have to snitch now, Zachary. It's the rules of the internet. You can't get out of this one. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun with you guys. Okay, so she's like, please fight for me. And he's like, bleh. I didn't fall for any of it. I've largely been ignoring her. And when we have to speak, I keep it very brief. We've been living together this whole time, but I'm in a different room now and functioning separate from her in all ways. That's fucking wild to me. Shout out to all of y'all who are living that life right now or have in the past. I have one of my good friends right now is still living with her ex. They've been divorced for like a year and they're still living together. And I'm like, girlfriend, how are you surviving right now? Living with your ex for a year? How? Especially like you're a cheating ex. In this situation, I don't think that was the case for them. But in this situation, the Reddit one, oh my God. And then like knowing that she's still seeing this guy. But at the same time, if they share a lease, it's not that simple. You can't just kick people out, no matter how much eggplant they've had stuffed inside their Thanksgiving ham, you know? So her pouting and trying to get me to pay attention to her and give her a gold star for not going to the gym for 5 days in a row didn't work. Today she texted me to say she's moving in with him. Somehow, I still care about this person. I've already met with a lawyer, though. I can care about her as a human being and possible mother of my child without being married to her. This guy is such a, like, I think this guy should give a TED Talk. How to handle getting cheated on during a time of not knowing your paternity. He would be great at giving a TED Talk on this topic. Still, it stung to hear her say that she was going to be with him. I told her it wasn't a smart move to leave the house. I've even told her she should probably meet with a lawyer herself. She doesn't care about anything I have to say. I don't think she needs to move in with anybody. I actually feel bad for her that she can't just be on her own. I mean, yeah, what do they always say? A man is not a financial plan. She's monkey branching right now, dude. She's monkey branching so hard. And if this really is my baby, then what? They'll live with my wife and this weasel 50% of the time? I don't know how my life turned into this mess, and she thinks it's embarrassing to have to go get blood drawn. Right? Oh, this is so cringe and embarrassing that I have to do a paternity test. They're really gonna judge me. Yeah, bitch. Sending of my tax refund to the Sorry, guys. I don't know why I turned my audio off. Sorry, I fat fingered it. That's my bad. Hopefully it wasn't gone very long. I was just rambling anyway. We can get back to it. Sorry. James, thank you. I got your super chat a little bit too late, but now I'm going to mute myself again to get another $2. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I didn't hear you about my refund. Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying thank you so much for that because Lord knows I did not get a tax refund this year. I was saying last year when I was working for the man, got thousands back for me and my kids. This year, as a YouTuber, you have to save 30% of your income every month just to pay taxes at the end of the year, y'all. But I did. I was responsible. Still hurt to let it go, but I did pay my taxes, unlike some people. You know what's really cringe? Having someone else's baby. Right, Cameron? Is your email address the Dadvocate or just the Dadvocate? Caleb, thank you for the $2. It is lauren@dadvocate.net. And that is the best way to contact me ever. I check my email multiple times a day. Very rarely does stuff ever get lost in the spam folder. I never check my Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook DMs, like ever. So that's the best way to contact me. I deadass left the stream for a second because I thought my phone broke. That was my bad. I should have just kept gaslighting you guys into thinking it was all of you and not me. Clearly the gaslighting works pretty hard on some people. I tried contacting, he declined my request. Oh, snap. See, that's what I'm saying, though. These people would really rather live in denial than know the truth. And, you know, he knows deep down, though. He knows what you're trying to contact Matt. He's probably already seen it. She's probably not slick. She probably brought you up or some shit, like a weirdo. Same way she did. She was, like, bragging about all her friends, not realizing, like, wow, there's this one guy she talks about a lot. That's weird. Also, sorry for being so stuffy. Like I said, I'm getting over a summer cold. But we're going to finish this story, guys. We're going to finish it. All right. How much more of this update do we have? Okay. I'm going to rush through this as quick as I can. All right. February 29th, 2024. My wife has agreed to a paternity test. All right. Let's get some answers. My wife moved in with her affair partner last week. She didn't take very much at all. Most of her stuff is still in our house. I still get the feeling that she was just waiting for me to beg her to come home, but I didn't reach out to her at all after she left. That's so annoying. What a non-committal gotcha, isn't it? She like moves out but doesn't take anything. Okay, cool. So you're still burdening me with your shit and you're not actually moving out. Great. Dang, these girls are popular. Okay. It was a strange mixture of relief, anger, and sadness. I don't think I ate at all until last night. I just never felt hungry. Drank a little too much, but I'm fine. I'm posting this update because I've received a ton of messages from people, and honestly, it's emotionally draining to respond to all of you. I just don't feel like talking to her about her anymore. But this morning she texted me to say that her affair partner wants to get the DNA test done as well. So she's going to do it. Look at that. Didn't matter when I wanted one, but now that he's requested it, suddenly she thinks it's a great idea. She never loved this guy, dude. He was always just security for her. This sucks. She asked if I wanted to submit a sample because it'll be cheaper to have two dads tested as part of one package. Can you guys just bundle up so we could get a group on? I don't even care about the cost at this point. I just want an answer. I don't have to see or interact with them at all. I just have to make my own appointment with the lab to go get my cheek swabbed. So this Saturday, I'm going to do that. We should have the results within a week. I'll take what I can get at this point because it's better than her dragging this out for another 20 weeks, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. That would have been like the worst part, is just this prison of anxiety for a whole year. So that's it. I'm fine. I'm going to work every day, trying to function, just feel stuck in limbo. I miss her. Honestly, I hate that she's there with him. It makes me sick. Part of me does want to beg her to come home. It'll be even worse if I find out that it's my baby and she's there with him. Unless he drops her at that news. I won't let myself beg her. I won't play any of those games with her. Oh no, but it's still conditional. He says, unless he drops her at that news, I won't let myself beg her. Don't do it even if he leaves her, dude. What do you mean? That would just make you even more of the backup guy. God, this sucks. Like, it sucks to be this down bad, man. When you know that you're just a backup dude, when you know that the only reason she would even entertain you is if the guy she really wants to pork doesn't want her anymore. That's one of the worst feelings ever. And it's like, don't fucking settle for that. I really don't care how hot she is. She could literally be an 11 out of 10. And if you know that you're just the backup, have some self-respect, man. Have some self-respect. Again, this isn't me trying to blame him. I'm just telling you, like, try anyway. Just try so that you don't have to, like, look back and be like, oh, fuck me for doing that. Because it's only going to happen again. She's only going to have another affair with some other dude who gives her butterflies. I have a sip of coffee. Oh God, let me take a peek here. Okay, I see. Hide, show, boobs guy. Hold on, let me fix my necklace and then we'll keep it schmovin'. All right. The update. My wife has been having an affair with a guy she met at the gym for at least nearly a year. She's around 22 weeks pregnant right now. She was somewhere around 17 weeks when I discovered she was cheating. She maintained that she was positive I was the father, but then refused to get a paternity test done to ease my mind. We recently had that paternity test done at the request of her affair partner, and it proves the baby is mine. Fuck! No! No! Effing chat. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. I did not want to hear that, you guys. It's been very mixed emotions for me, very up and down. Originally, I thought I just wanted to be completely done with her and not have any lifelong ties in the form of a full-blown human being we share. But I was sort of happy or relieved when I got the results. I can see that too. The thing is, he had the joy of fatherhood awakened in him before his world came crashing down. And I know that not all of you are dads in my chat, but a lot of you are. And a lot of you never became dads, but were given the news that you would become a dad, even if it didn't come to fruition. And once that happens, you change. You change as a person. And for a lot of you, you might just be scared, but for a lot of men, they realize in that moment, I am ready. I'm ready to meet them. I can't wait to meet them. I cannot wait to meet this extension of myself. And it doesn't even matter with whom the child was made at that point, you know? So I really feel for this. It's not easy, you know? He still wants to know who this person is. It just sucks that he has to raise them with this fucking scummy person, dude. So it's his kid. Where am I? I'd already had it in my mind I was going to be a father for months before, like I said. Sometimes I just have moments where I can't believe this is my life, that this is the situation that my kid will be born into, and I hate her for it. Yeah, she's still living with him. All of her belongings are still here in our house. Throw them out! Oh, I know you can't because she's pregnant. This is what's, oh, isn't it the worst that when a woman becomes pregnant, she becomes this untouchable victim that everyone has to protect no matter how fucking heinous and malicious and evil she is? Isn't that annoying? That like, just because a person has a baby in their belly, like you still want to give up your seat for them. You still want to take care of them, as you should, because they're growing an innocent human. But it just sucks that it's like, you are so lucky that you are a vehicle for an innocent person right now. You are so lucky. God. She doesn't seem too concerned about taking any of her things beyond the essentials. Yeah, because you're just a free storage unit. She can just keep using you. And that's what she plans on doing. She's going to keep using you for everything that you're worth without giving back fucking anything to you. Great. Oh my God. After we got the news that I'm the baby's father, she texted me to say she's glad I'm the father and that she knows I'll be a great dad. She was texting me new baby name ideas last night. She tried calling me, but I ignore the calls. I only speak to her via text. This morning, she asked if she could come by and get a few things. I told her it was fine, as I'd been advised by my lawyer to not prevent her entry from the home, but I told her that he better not be with her. So who shows up with her? The scumbag boyfriend. He walks right into the house behind her like it's no big deal. She's gonna get someone straight up killed. I'm not joking you. I've said numerous times that it is possible to be one of the most dangerous, damaging people without ever laying a hand on someone, even though ironically she has laid hands. But this behavior, this is how you get people killed. Okay? And I don't want to hear nobody come up in the chat with some, well, don't you think it's the patriarchy at that point if two men fight each other over a woman because they can't handle that? Nope, it's called reactive abuse. It's called reactive abuse, and she knew what she was doing, and she knows the position that she's putting these men in, and it's entertaining for her even, and she loves it, and she loves being fought over, and she loves the drama. And she doesn't care who's hurt as a result of it. These are the most dangerous people in the world, dude. Oh, God. How do these people keep sneaking in here? Please don't call me an Aryan beauty. You're banned. You're done. And you're done. I'm literally going to have to get brown colored contacts just to keep Nazis away. Christ. There's a lot to be learned in the chat. I hope men are definitely taking notes from this one. So the boyfriend comes over. And first of all, hell to the nah. What would you guys do? Nope. I feel like I would try to calmly be like, yeah, you're going to have to step out, or else police are going to get called for one reason or another. His name ain't on no lease, is the thing. All right. And I don't know what state they're in. They might have castle doctrine. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, him entering the house, he could legally be ended, and he would have the right to do that. She's just putting these men in danger. She doesn't care. All for what? For her essentials? Because she wants to get what? Some Prada bag she forgot? Good God. He told me that it wasn't her fault that he was there. She told him I didn't want him to come, but he forced his way along. He wanted to talk to me, supposedly, to tell him that he understands how I must be feeling. He wants to DIE. This man has like the equivalent to like death by police, but it's like death by husband who's just been cheated on. That's what you're trying to do. You're going to the husband's house who's been cheated on. You're rolling up there and trying to act like you're going to protect her, that you understand what he must be going through. I'm not a super violent person, but he'd be taking a nap, dude. He'd be sound asleep. Just because I'm the father doesn't mean I gotta be the father. Scurry's far, far away, Jacobite. So, passport bro, stay up. I'd put her crap in the most expensive storage unit I could find and send her the bill. And he actually could get away with doing that because they're married. So she would be liable for that, quite frankly. I'm pretty sure he could do that. Because all of the marital assets and all of the marital debts are shared. Are they not? Are they not? You know? I'm curious. Man, do I have to turn the chat off? Are you guys going to come ruining this for all of us? All right, let's continue this story. He told me he understands how I must be feeling. No, you don't know. He told me he knows I probably don't believe him, but he genuinely loves her and knows he probably wasn't the father, or he knew he probably wasn't the father. He accepts it, but he tried to reassure me that he won't try to take my place with the baby and hopes we can all just get along since we're both going to be in her life now. He promises that she's fine. He's looking after her. I told him that I couldn't for the life of me imagine what he wanted with a pregnant woman who was having another man's child, and that I found it weird. Then I told him that if he didn't get the fuck out of my house, I'd punch him. I went upstairs and she was trying to find some things in the bathroom. I got mad, asked her why she brought him along, and told her I find it really strange that he still wants to be with her now that he knows he has nothing to do with the baby. So yeah, he's just kind of trolling her at this point. He doesn't need to be having these conversations. It doesn't matter if he understands it or not, because there's no point in trying to understand delusional, narcissistic, crazy people. You will drive yourself crazy trying to understand these people. So if you ever have to deal with people like this, who just obviously don't give a shit about anyone except for themselves, Don't bother trying to get to the bottom of it. You will never know why. The answer is simple, because they're a delusional narcissist. That's why. You don't need to know anything else besides that. She said that he talked her into coming, and she's sorry and never meant for any of this to happen, but she's in love with him now. He is supposedly what 30-year-old her is looking for, not me. She's setting up a nursery in his house, and I can set one up at my house, and she has no intention of trying to get full custody or anything like that. Oh, how generous of her. That's so kind. I fucking love it when women try to use, well, I won't keep the kid from you, as if that's like a kindness, as if that's like nice of them to offer. Like, this is how so many baby mamas treat the dad. They're like, well, I let him see him every other weekend. Like, I let him. I don't stand in the way of their relationship. Like, oh, that's so kind of you to not alienate your child and cause them decades of fatherlessness that will undoubtedly negatively affect their life. So nice, so kind of you. She doesn't want to keep him from me, or keep the baby from me, or keep me from being involved in my child's life. How generous of her. So he says the same exact thing I do. She went back downstairs and I followed her, and he was still standing there in the living room. So I just walked up to him and punched him. Let's just do a victory lap. I'm gonna do a victory lap around the table real quick. Oh man, I just said I'm not a violent person. I don't want anybody to get punched in the story, but go around, find out, okay? I 100% believe in your right to defend yourself inside of your own home. I tell you, get the fuck out of my house, or I'm punching you. You stay in my house. That's, to me, that's you consenting to getting punched, is it not? If I tell you, you leave my house, or my fist goes through your face, not into your face, through your face, and you stick around, that's you saying, please, Lauren, please, as hard as you possibly can, making sure that you use your ring and like the two main fingers, and like you full technique, aiming with the hips as hard as possible. Please deck me in my face. That's what you say to me at that point. So good. I'm glad this dude got fucking laid out. I hope he dropped his ass. All right. He stumped back and fell into a table. Even better. She yelled, "What the fuck?" and ran over to him. Oh, you poor kid, poor Giga Chad. Oh, he hurt his little Chad head. It's okay, he's very popular at the gym. I'm sure that helps. I don't even care at this point. As if he's gonna call the cops. He deserved it, and it wouldn't have happened if he had just left like I told him to. Several hours later, she texted me to say she was sorry about today. He really meant what he said, and he's actually a good guy and cares about her and respects me. What the fuck? He respects me? He was screwing my wife in the gym locker room. I was like, you can't be serious. She said, fine, I'm trying to have a mature conversation about this. I can't help that we fell in love, believe it or not. I'm not trying to hurt you, and I want everything to be amicable. Yeah, she's the bigger person here, guys. He needs to calm down. This guy stole my wife, and he's stealing my kid too. Sure, I'm the actual father, but now they're setting up a nursery together in his house. I've tried to not feel jealous or sad. I've tried to maintain the thought that he's the trash man who picked up my garbage. Sometimes I feel that way, but the truth is that I loved her, and I still love her. I don't want to stay married to her on the principle alone, but this is still devastating to me. Yeah, and true. Like, we all wish that we could just turn off those feelings as soon as we find out someone fucked us over, but like, we can't, we don't. Let me read some of these super chats. Leon, thank you for the 5. No good deed goes unpunished. Y'all keep this up. She gonna keep blocking y'all ass. Keep making content, please. It keeps me on my sane on my medical leave. Oh, that's great. I'm glad that you get medical leave. I had a herniated disc a couple years ago, and my work gave me like a few weeks off to recover from that. I don't know if I could have recovered otherwise, so it's always great when places take care of you like that. Unpopular opinion. Parenthood is a privilege that few deserve or are mature enough for. Dude, for real. I really wish that humans had fertility switches. I think a good place might be someone maybe like the small of your back, or like maybe like underneath your hairline that you can tuck it away, but definitely somewhere where you can like check to see if someone's like fertility switch is on or off. And like that way when you're engaging in the coitus, you can kind of make sure that you're like on the same level there. Or like if you don't want to reproduce with someone, you can at least turn yours off, and it's great. If you want to keep yours on, go for it. Mine's off. Like, wouldn't that be great? I would love that for us. We would still up. We definitely would, for sure, but it'd be less. And C2 to J, thank you for the 2. Let's finish this up. And then I think this might be the last update. Let me do a quick little scroll. Yeah, we got one more update. 2 more updates? Oh my God, 2 more updates, and then we're done, My wife is basically 26 weeks pregnant now. There actually hasn't been much drama with her and her affair partner. I was away for a long weekend last week, and it was just nice to get away from home for a while. This was posted April 10th of this year, by the way. So we're out of February. Only really annoying thing that's happened is that I told her I'm being in the delivery room, not him. After everything she's done, she owes me that. It's not his baby. He has no right or reason to be there. I will not be the one waiting outside when my kid is being born. What sucks, though, is he has no right to that. He can tell her, like, this is what I'm really going to demand if you want any more respect from me in the future as a co-parent. But at the end of the day, if she decides that she doesn't want him there, she wants the affair partner there, she has every right to do that. It's her medical procedure, and she has the right to do that. So if she wants to be a see you next Tuesday, she can. She said, yeah, she agreed, but we'll see. She changes her mind all the time, so we'll see. And she never planned to have him there with her anyway. Yes, you did, bitch. I asked her if she told him that, and she said no. I told her to tell him that he'll have no part in it. Dude, yes, she needs to tell him, because this dude's going to come walking in like, well, she told me not to come, but I came anyway, right? I mean, but I'm just on that one. But yeah, we've already seen this, so definitely not, especially with like his refusal and lack of respect for him. No. Well, she told him, and apparently he didn't like that, and he started trying to convince her why he should be there. Next thing I know, she's telling me that he really wants to be there, and she's the one giving birth, so she should be able to say who she wants there, and she wants him there. I suppose he'll start making name suggestions soon, and we'll try to overrule names we'd picked out for our future kids for years. Probably will. Whoop. We've talked a little bit, and she told me I can have our house and the dog and our divorce. I'm requesting that we sell the house and split the profit. I already had that written in the paperwork. I'm not buying her out of our house, a house that I've made all the payments on anyway. I have a much better credit score than her and less debt. I compromised a lot because she liked this house. I'd rather be able to get my own place based on what I want and with no reminders of her. And there was already no way she was getting the dog. I already had proof that I owned him, although she wouldn't stand a chance of having a court award the dog to her. It's the one thing I told my lawyer I wanted above all else, not including custody issues. That's the crappy thing too, is if you don't know this, you cannot make any custodial decisions in a prenup, a postnup, but you can in a divorce settlement. But if he was hoping to like have anything written in using that, prenups and postnups can't have anything about custody. Not to mention my dog is 100 times more loyal than my wife, and some might even say better looking too. I gotta put the phone down for a second. Gotta give a round of applause for that sick burn. Good God. Even I felt some pain from that one. So with the idea I won't be living in this house for much longer after the baby's born, if everything moves quickly, I decided I will still prepare a nursery here anyway, in case anyone wants to try to accuse me of not being invested or prepared for fatherhood. Dude, he really is such an iconic person to look up to if you are ever in a shitty situation like this, because he's covering all of his bases. Like, he decided very early on, like, I let you screw me over once. I'm not letting you screw me over again. And he's being very honest. It's not like this is easy for him. He is having to fight every aspect of his emotional loyalty that he still has for her. That is his wife. And he actually takes his marriage very seriously, unlike her. So this is one of the hardest things ever, and he's still choosing himself each and every time. Men, take notes. Men take notes. He is following his brain, not always his heart, and that's so hard to do sometimes. So hard. I got a promotion at work. I feel like I'm living in this limbo right now where everything I do is framed around how will this affect me in the divorce. I bet that sounds familiar to a lot of you. Admittedly, I do spy on them on social media sometimes. Guess I'm hoping to see he's been in a motorcycle accident or something now that the weather's nicer. Hasn't happened yet, but he's starting a new company, and once that's up and running, I can always get my friends and family to leave 1-star reviews everywhere. Have to find little ways to have fun. Editing had something I forgot. She told her family that we've split up and that she's with this other guy now. Her sister reached out to me saying how sorry she was. Her sister is a dumbass, that sort of thing. She told me that my wife was complaining about the affair partner. She said the sex is over when he's done, and apparently he's really selfish with sex. He doesn't do extra little things for her that she's used to me doing, like cleaning the snow off her car in the morning and heating it up or offering to make her food after a long day. He doesn't speak her love language, and he hangs out with his friends too much. This made me happy to hear. She's secretly miserable, and I find that absolutely delightful. It is delightful. Not necessarily that she's miserable, but it's also delightful the fact that like the person who's snitching on her misery is her own sister. Like he's got shooters, and not only that, but like shooters in her own family. That's how you know that you're really the good person in this. Let's see. Freedom Fiend. The Germans made a virility switch. It's a type of vasectomy that puts a light switch-like thing under the perineum that can block or unblock the Van's deferens. Flip forward for baby, back for... You're fucking shitting me. That's crazy that I literally was like, what if we did this? And the Germans were like, yeah, we got you already. We've been having that. By the way, don't ask me to continue doing the German accent. All right, last update, and then I got to start getting out of here and going back to play with my kids. But this has been a fun live, hasn't it? It's been so fun. Final update, May 19th. I'm still alive and mainly posting here because several people have reached out to me and were concerned that I'd taken my own life. No, I'm not on the brink of ending my life. I think I'm doing better than I have since all of this started. Around the time of my last post, my story blew up, and I was getting so many messages from people. So as of today, our baby is due in less than 10 weeks. We're in the home stretch now. I don't feel prepared at all. All of this other stuff has just been so distracting. I started working on a nursery. It's not done yet, but I have the floor finished and the walls painted. My ex-wife was impressed with the color scheme and furniture I chose. She's not legally my ex-wife yet, but I've started calling her that. It sort of makes it easier. Again, he's doing everything right. He's really taking care of his mental. I also packed up a bunch of her stuff. Originally, I refused to spend my time packing up her things, but eventually I just said screw it and started packing. Because she's never going to do it, let's be honest. I'm at that point where it'll just be easier to not see all of her stuff around here. Why did I leave it for so long? Yeah, I'm convinced that she was just leaving it there because she still sees him as a backup husband. She really does. She doesn't see him as an ex-husband. She just sees him as like the backup. It's so sad. She came over to get some of the boxes I packed up. She came alone. Good. Things were fine between us. I loaded the stuff into her car. We didn't argue. At one point, she started to tear up and said she fucked up. I said, yeah, she did, but there's no point talking about it now. She shit all over our marriage. She has her muscle-bound asshole to go home to now anyway, so who cares? She said, I know, but it's not the same. I told her nothing has been the same. She decided to fuck him the first time. Supposedly, he's going to let me be in the delivery room when my baby is born. This guy just wants a knuckle sandwich so bad. He just wants a new set of veneers. God. I didn't even argue with him when she said it like that, but inside I was boiling at the idea of him letting me be there for the birth of my child. She says she talked to him and he agreed it wouldn't really be right to not allow me to be there. I'm going to take what I can get if it means being there for the birth of my child. I'm going to try to just ignore him for the time being. She was acting all sweet and laying on the I really want you there, I really need you there stuff. And I know mentally I'm not in a place to be that cold to her when she starts acting that way. I'm trying to be indifferent more than anything else, but it's so hard when she's actually around and starts looking at me a certain way and making me feel bad. This is true too. It's like so much easier to say like, I'm gonna cut them off, or I'm gonna gray rock them, or I'm gonna stonewall them. But then like when you're actually in the room with the person, it's kind of like how none of us would ever be as mean to each other in person as we are to each other online. You know what I mean? Like half the stuff that we say in these comment threads, we would never say to someone's face, you know? It's the same way. It does suck. She invited me over to see the nursery they have set up at his house. I'm not sure if I can bring myself to go to another man's house and look at the nursery set up for my kid. Understandable. I did ask her if she was truly safe there, though. I don't know why. It's just been bothering me. As pissed as I still am, I don't want to find out he's mistreating her, and I definitely don't want to find out that because my kid will be going to an unsafe household. I haven't told her about anything her sister has told me. Well, yeah, because you got to keep that influx of information going. You can't just let them know your intel all at once. You got to keep it coming. They probably won't last, but as of right now, there's a very good chance my newborn baby will be going home to his house. It kills me to think about. It's almost soul-destroying to think about it if I dwell on it too long. But she says she's fine. He says he genuinely loves her. He's great with kids, apparently. He accepts that she's having a baby with someone else, and that's part of the package. She insists it's not weird because she wasn't pregnant when anything started between them. Okay. Yeah, so don't you know the rules? If you get pregnant before, as long as you get pregnant before the affair starts, it's not weird anymore that you're having your ex-husband's baby instead of your new partner's baby. It's science. We all learned that in like 2nd grade, right? Also, hold on real quick. I'll respond to the Temu thing. Right now I'm talking to my agent about if it would be appropriate for me to pin a comment saying something along the lines of that I will not be working with Temu in the future. But just to address my recent sponsorship with Temu, yes, I took a sponsorship with Temu. I wasn't aware of everything. I knew like, so a few people said like, oh, it didn't seem like you were really as excited about it. I knew that like Temu had made kind of like cheap products, but I wasn't aware that there was literally no regulation as far as like child labor for that company. So to be very clear, I will not be accepting any sponsorships from them or working with them in the future. I am embarrassed to have taken that sponsorship knowing what I know now, and I will be more careful in the future. I trusted my agents with kind of like doing their research, but I guess they also trusted me with doing mine, so I don't want to like put any blame on them. It was stupid of me. I should have done a bit more research. I don't need sponsorships that badly to take on ones that I won't actually feel passionate about. So yeah, I just wanted to clear that up real quick. But yeah, I think we kind of finished up the story. Let me see if there's anything else in here. One last thing. He says, I asked her why she did it. Why did she ever let anything start between them in the first place? She just said, I don't know. Then went into, I don't want to talk about this mode, and left pretty soon after. Typical behavior from her, just run away. Hold on, oh God, let me just trip over this real quick. And this, okay. I did not push the button like I thought I did. Oh my God, I feel like such a boomer right now. How did I push it successfully 5 other times during this live? Not now. Okay. Anyway, his final notes. Overall, I'm doing okay. I'm not sitting here depressed and drinking a bottle of scotch every night anymore. I mean, on occasion, but for the most part, no. I feel more used to my new normal now, and that'll all change yet again pretty soon. So, sorry, summer cold stuff. Let me just... Oh my God. These girls are getting blown up here at the hotel. Oh, thank you for the... Hold on, I'm gonna wipe my nose with a tissue. Real quick. You guys don't need to see me wiping my nose. But thank you for dealing with my little summer cold. Okay. Let's read this super chat from Jakeify. Thanks, Dadvocate. I don't know why I'm still here, but it was a good choice to stay. I hope you subbed. I know I haven't seen you in my lives before, but I hope you subbed. We usually have a pretty good time in here. So here's the thing. Here's the note that I'll kind of end on when it comes to the story, is the final part where he asks her why. Why did you have this affair? Why did you choose to go through with it? She doesn't have an answer, okay? And so if the answer was really, true of kind of what she says of like, oh, well, this is just what 30-year-old me wants right now. Like, what specific qualities, though? Like, what is this person able to provide that I'm not? Because without being able to actually structure an answer for what caused you to blow up your entire marriage, the only reasonable conclusion that we can draw is that you're just impulsive and drawn to infatuation, that you simply make emotional, impulsive decisions, and that this will happen again, right? There's no reason for us to think that she's not going to cheat again. She's probably going to. If I could make an honest prediction, even though this guy is doing really well for himself as far as like not going back to her, like it would not surprise me if he ends up having a moment of weakness and she cheats on the new guy with him, But I don't know if that'll happen because it seems like she has made moves, or at least moves to try to get him to make moves, if that makes sense. But it seems like she has tried to pursue him a bit and he keeps rejecting her. But even if it's not the ex-husband she cheats with, she will cheat on Jim Chadborough. She will do it again because all it's going to take is her feeling bored or her feeling stagnant or comfortable. And it's just going to be someone new that she's going to need to engage in. It's an issue that she has within herself. The reason that she cheated actually has nothing to do with either of these men. It's not that this other guy is like so cool. He was just different enough to give her kind of that new buzz. And once, things start getting a little too regular with him, and it sounds like they are because it sounds like he doesn't even know how to eat pussy right, she's just going to cheat again. She's just going to go off and find some other gym bro. Truly a tale as old as time, quite frankly. Hopefully one day she can go to therapy and work all that out. But overall, I just hope it doesn't end up affecting the kid. I hope that this kid doesn't just end up with a million stepdads. I really do. But it sounds like the kid will at least have a very consistent and loyal dad if she doesn't try to cut him out. But it seems like she is such an emotionally dependent person. He seems like he's probably going to become, excuse me, I'm like hiccuping, one of those co-parent dads who plays just the, yeah, I'll still help you out with stuff card just so that she doesn't try to cut him out. You know what I mean? And I think that he'll play it well. I think he's going to be a really, really great dad. All right, y'all. I got to start heading out. Any last words? Any last important pressing questions? Shout outs, stuff like that. Cool thumbnail. Thank you. I made it real quick this morning. Where are you from? Michigan? Midwest? Actually, specifically Detroit, but now I'm on the west side. When do you normally go live? My summer schedule is going to be Thursdays, 11 a.m., but we might have some other days outside of Thursdays, but it's usually going to be around 11 a.m. That's like my favorite time. 11 a.m. EST, I should say. To take the kids to museums, dude, we go everywhere. We're big nature park people, farm people, zoo people, any kind of like arts and crafts events we can get to. Right now we're actually at a water park, but like I said, I don't want to skip out on my live with you guys. And I was like so much stuff I wanted to talk about. I want to hang out for a little bit. So I decided to at least take a couple hours, chill in the hotel while my husband's got all the kids. Are you pregnant? No, but I kind of want to be. Every day, dude, every day. I've been going back and forth with this so hard, especially like since I just turned 32. I'm kind of like, now is the time. If I want to pop out another one, I might have to, but at the same time, I don't need a biological one. You know what I mean? So like me and my husband, we've been talking for the last few years about adoption because I'm not the best at making kids. This last one, I barely survived, dude. She was breaking multiple bones, emergency C-section. I was throwing up every single day. It was a rough pregnancy. But I love being a mom. I love kids so much. What am I gonna do, you guys? I don't know. Should I have another baby? One in the chat if you think Dadvocate should have another baby somehow, whether I make it myself or just go find one. or two in the chat if I need to be done. Because I keep telling myself, look, your oldest is gonna be 18 and you're only gonna be 42, if I'm doing the math right. No, even younger. When my youngest is 18, I'll be 42. That was the math, 0. So if I stick to this, I could be in my 40s, adventuring around Europe while my kids are being grown, still young as fuck, or I could do it all over again. Decisions. All right. I gotta get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this amazing live. I heart you. Hit the like button. Hit the like button before we go and make sure that you're subscribed. I will see you soon. Bye.